Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your girl, Kiki Marie, and Investigation Open. All right, so I've really been considering doing a YouTube channel for a long time now, and I finally just decided that's it. December is going to be the month. I'm going to put out my first video, going to do an introduction, and then just start my series of videos. So this channel is going to address law enforcement, criminal justice, and police issues. I am a former deputy sheriff in the state of Florida. I worked as a deputy sheriff, a sworn officer of the law, for several years in the state of Florida. And that gave me a very unique perspective just on all things criminal justice, all things law enforcement. Every day I field questions from friends or friends of friends or other people who know my background in law enforcement, and it shocks me. It surprises me still, the lack of basic understanding that kind of a regular Joe Schmo civilian has in terms of kind of basic law and order procedures, court proceedings, criminal justice proceedings, what their rights are. Unfortunately, I see a lot of videos and things happening on the news, and it shocks me a lot of times seeing how certain law enforcement officers lack the basic understanding and education and know-with-all in regards to the criminal justice system, their job, the law, policies, procedures. It all kind of started this past summer. There was the trial of that Dallas law enforcement officer, Amber Geiger, who, in my opinion, and actually in the opinion of the court, she's a murderer. She committed the equivalent to me of home invasion execution of an unarmed, innocent civilian. And a lot of people would ask me my opinion about it, and they would say, well, come on, can't you understand what she was going through? She was working long shifts. She thought there was an active burglary going on in her apartment. And I just remember, sitting there and look, I was in law enforcement. I was a deputy. I worked long hours. I have always lived in multi-level apartment complexes, and I didn't even have to consider it. Never can I empathize or understand how something like that can happen. And I remember, I feel so strongly about it, and really just kind of, giving my opinion with people. And I think, not that I would set out to change people's mind, but I enjoy the discussion. I enjoy, giving my unique perspective, because I was in law enforcement. I was a female that lived alone in that time. I worked long hours, and still, under no circumstance ever could a reasonable person imagine how anything that occurred that night was reasonable or by any means the actions of a trained law enforcement officer. So that kind of got me, got my interest going. Also, I have a lot of friends, or, a lot of people, they're always asking for a friend. Hey, I have a friend that is going through court proceedings for driving under the influence, or I have a friend who's in a landlord-tenant dispute, or domestic violence, theft, credit card fraud, whatever it might be. Everybody, either directly or indirectly, has some kind of link to law enforcement or the criminal justice system at one point in their life. And, you know, I know I have a unique perspective. You know, I find the topics, you know, relating or current happenings, or you see situations on the news, and I like discussing or debating, you know, legalities, whether something was legal or not ethnic, excuse me, I'm a little nervous. Ethical, moral, was it, even if it was legal, did it follow what would be considered kind of standard operating procedures in terms of law enforcement, or even that specific officers, agencies, policies and procedures. I want to, you know, just, like I said, get my name, get my voice out there. If I look off to the sides, because I made some notes, because this being my first video, I didn't want to A, ramble, and 2, I want to get to the point. I am nervous, so hopefully I will shake it all off. This is my first video. What you can expect from me is I'm going to be uploading regularly on this channel. I want to discuss, I am going to do a series on driving under the influence. You know, being in Florida, being in an area that DUI enforcement is so important. I mean, it's important everywhere. But, you know, I live in a touristy, beachy area. And so a lot of people I know personally, or, you know, asking for a friend, have been affected by, you know, DUI or have been arrested, and they have questions. I was on the DUI unit with the sheriff's office. So that was my bread and butter, a lot of it. So I do know more than the average bear, definitely, and even more than the average certified law enforcement officer, because I was part of a team that specifically dealt with DUI prevention, monitoring, and arrests. I have a good record when it comes to arrests. And going to court. So I am going to want to do a series on that. I'm getting my notebook. So just, you know, discussing you know, for example, what you can expect is, you know, what are 3 things a law enforcement officer has to prove when it comes to driving under the influence charge. You know, in a nutshell, it's, why did they pull you over? Why did they ask you out of the vehicle? And why did they subsequently do an arrest? Those 3 things have to be proven. Those are the 3 things that if any one of those is missing or on shaky ground, the whole arrest, the whole investigation could be then considered null. And then it was just a big waste of everybody's time and resources. So that's going to be one video. Definitely going to discuss kind of post-arrest investigation. Should you ever provide a breath or alcohol, a breath sample for breath alcohol content, or should you volunteer any body specimen, whether it's blood, urine, or breath? Should you ever, post-arrest, provide that? In short, it's going to be very clear how I feel. That's always a big fat no. So stay tuned. I'm really looking forward to getting this channel up and going, getting the series out there. I really am going to be concentrating a lot and putting my time into reading comments, looking at any suggestions, maybe questions that continue to pop up in the comments. I will address. I'm hoping to get some guest just guests on doing videos with me. I'll be doing some live chats, kind of addressing as we go, and I'm really excited about this this new venture. I'm excited that you guys are going to be along with me on this. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's your girl Kiki Marie. Stay tuned, like, subscribe, and comment down below. Bye.